but it's been a day already. Great Wednesday morning. Hope everyone's doing fantastic out there. Welcome out to the 15 Minutes to Mastery on this Wednesday, January 24th. My name is Cesar Mascoro Jr., and I am with Manufactured Home Sales Mastery. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Weather out here, made it back home overnight, drove overnight, got in, I think probably an hour and a half ago. Because I just wanted to get home. But anyway, it's a long day, or it's been a long day already so far, right? Been up most of the night, and but we still go at it. We still do the same thing. It's every day. Consistency is about doing these things daily. So today we're coming in and we're keeping the theme going as far as focus is concerned. One of my favorite quotes from Tony Robbins says, "Where focus goes, energy flows." Where focus goes, energy flows. So if you want to get something accomplished, if you want to get something done in your life, reach a goal that you're after, you've got to, if you put that focus in towards that goal that you're after, or if you put your focus into a certain activity or action, then what winds up happening is all your action, your energy, everything goes towards that one thing that you're focusing on. Okay. Now, that could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing, right? Obviously, it depends on what it is that you're focused on. So you got to make sure that you're focusing on the right things, like we talked about on Monday. You've got to be focused on the right things to be able to accomplish the goals. Now, let's talk about what kind of goals maybe you have. Let's in business. All right. If you're in manufactured home sales, we always talk about whether it's a certain amount of homes delivered each month or for the whole year, or a dollar amount. One of the two. Which is it going to be? Because if it's the dollar amount, then you've got to be able to focus on that and then break down what it's going to take for you to be able to hit that dollar amount, that goal, and put that complete focus into that, so that you're putting in the work that's necessary to hit the goal at hand, and not fall short or give yourself the pass. Most of us, when we don't hit our goals, is because we didn't put 100% focus on it. I will give you an example as it applies to us right now here at Manufactured Home Sales Mastery. Our focus when we first started was simply launching, right? I mean, it's when I got started, it was about getting going, putting the online platform together. And so wrote all the scripts, did the recordings, had it edited, and we set a date. I had set a date of July 4th. I wanted to launch that thing July 4th. And the focus that I put into that got us to the point where on July 4th, we launched that thing. We were having a party here at our house with a family, and I was doing the live stream here. You can go back and look July 4th, where we launched the online training platform for Manufactured Home Sales Mastery. And then from there, the focus shifted into finding clients that we could do training for, right? Do in-person training, have people come into the class where we develop that immersion sales training program. And the focus turned to that, and we were able to get clients for that. And from that, it developed into what we have now in the consulting side of things. But now I'll give you a prime example. Now we want to make sure that we're getting the money coming in that needs to be, that we need to have in order to continue to grow and continue to build, right? And like I've mentioned to you before, when you're starting something new, whether it's a job, whether it's a new sales career, or whether it's a business, you never know where it's going to come from. The next dollar is always something that's uncertain, right? Until you have that client base that is just paying consistently. And so our focus has been on that, making sure that we are getting what we need in order to continue going, moving forward, and continue to build. And by the grace of God and the blessings that He puts upon us, things have been falling into place. Not knowing, but sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen today? And then it happens. And so it's about that focus, right? Put that focus in there. Now we're shifting our focus into growing the team. We're shifting our focus into bringing somebody on that we can train as a salesperson, as a trainer. And now we're putting all our efforts into myself, my wife. We're putting out there, getting somebody hired, and I truly believe that with that focus, we'll be able to make that happen as well here sooner than later. So you in your business, you as a salesperson, you as a housing consultant need to be able to shift your focus onto what's most important. And that is what you need to not just focus on, but put the work behind it in order to reach that goal, in order to hit that target. You've got to back it up with massive action each and every day. It's not just good enough to just focus on, I got to make this money. I got to make this money. I've got to make this money. But then you're not putting in the work to actually make that money. Or I've got to sell these houses, or I've got to make sure that my family has this, but we're not putting in the work behind it. We have to always put in the work, because the second part of that quote, right, it says where focus goes, it's followed by energy flows. Energy, action, work, right? That would be energy, not just thought. Where focus goes, energy flows. Energy follows it. Work follows it. You can't get away from the work. We must always put in the work. If you're not putting in the work, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're going to suffer very, very badly. It's not going to be a good thing. And you're going to wonder, most people wonder why it didn't work. You know, I mentioned this when it comes to customers buying homes, right? In the manufactured home world, our client base, they all want a house. All of them want a house. They only come to your lot because they want to buy or they think they can buy. One of those two reasons, right? They want to buy a house. But then some of them will do anything and wait for any excuse to be able to stop the process so that they can at least convince themselves that they tried to buy a home, right? They don't put in the work behind it. So they focus on getting a house. They think about doing it, but then they don't follow it with the energy to be able to make it happen. It's the same thing with us, folks. We can't do that for ourselves. We can't just think about wanting this, but then not put in the work behind it. It always comes down to do the work. And that is one of the things that I pride myself on, especially now with this venture, because it's every day, all day, each day of the week. No matter if I've been up 24 hours almost, I've got to come in. I've got to do this. I've got to make the calls I've got to make after this. I've got to do some training with a couple of folks that I've got to do training with a little bit later this morning. I've got to get on the phone calls that are scheduled already. I'll sleep somewhere in between all that, right? Because we're building, we're growing. Same thing for you. When you're building your pipeline, you've got to do the work. You've got to do the things that have to be done in order to make it happen. So today, as you go about your day, think about what you're focusing on, and then also measure the amount of work that you put in behind it. If you're a salesperson, think about the goal that you're after in the homes that you want to sell this week, and then measure the amount of calls you make. Measure the amount of people that you actually speak to on the phone that answered the calls. Measure the amount of appointments that you set for this week based on today's calls. Measure the amount of people that actually show up from the appointments you set for before. Measure everything, because what gets measured, right, can be improved. If you're not measuring, if you're not figuring those things out, you're never going to figure out what needs to be improved. Focus, energy, measure. Always. Focus, energy, measure. Focus, work, measure. Take that today, put it into effect, and do it for the next week. And let's talk about what kind of progress you make while you work in that manner. Focus on the task at hand. Put in the work behind it and measure that work and the outcomes of that work. and see what happens 7 days from now. See where you're at next Wednesday. But it's got to be daily, folks. Yes, even Sunday. All right. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. You go out there, do great things today. And as always, don't forget, all right, we're here every morning. Today was a little late. I apologize, but every morning, 8:15, share the word. We're spreading the message. 15 minutes to mastery. You don't have to be manufacturing home sales in order to log in here to get fed a little bit of information to get you going on the right step. And also, don't forget, if you've got manufactured home experience or you know someone who has manufactured home experience that is looking for a career that is impactful, purposeful, and that is about results, please send them our way, because we are going to build a team of just high performance people, because that is what we're about here. We're purpose driven, we're results oriented at Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, and we're looking for the right candidates. So if that's you, if you want to build something together with us and you want to have a career that's about purpose and that you're helping people, you're making an impact, get a hold of us, send us your resume, send us a message on social media, whatever it is. Let's set up a time to talk, because we're ready to get up to that next level now. And we want you on our team. You guys have a great Wednesday. We'll talk to you soon, and I can't wait to meet you.